Stormtroopers! On the double! Fire!
Hi, this is Todd from the Scoundrels Cantina, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'll be going over 15 of the most unique lightsabers, or lightsaber types, in all of Star Wars. Some of them are the only ones of their kind, and others have more than one, but are still unique in their own way. And yes, we know that most unique is not grammatically correct, but we don't know any other way of explaining how special some of these sabers are. As always, we're mixing the expanded universe and canon because we believe that there's no reason why most of it can't fit together. That is until the events of the Return of the Jedi. We will be going in chronological order story-wise with this list, so anyway, let's do it. Our first lightsaber on this list is based on the times of the Old Republic, around 4,000 years before the events of the movies. It is a long-handled lightsaber, which was constructed by the Onderonian blacksmith Shas Dovos shortly before his transformation into the Sith warrior, Warb Null. The weapon appeared to be a long-handled lightsaber, which is not that unique at all, but his one was, because it was a long-handled, double-bladed lightsaber, which had an emerald green lightsaber blade on one side and a red one on the other. Not only that, but the lightsaber could only have one blade ignited at a time and was used to surprise opponents when switching blades. When the secondary blade ignites, the lightsaber would toggle and refocus the power from one end of the blade to the other. It would deactivate one side and activate the other. It most notably saw usage about 50 years before the times of Darth Revan's and Darth Malak's Sith Empire. At number 2, we have the Darksaber, which was created by the first Mandalorian to ever become a Jedi, whose name was Tar Vizsla. Sadly, it is not exactly known at what exact time it was created in the Old Republic era. After his death, it was kept in the Jedi Temple and would eventually be stolen by House Vizsla when the Sith attacked Coruscant during the Old Republic era. For thousands of years, it would be passed down, and its most notable users were Tor Vizsla, Pre Vizsla, Darth Maul, and Sabine Wren. It is a saber unlike any other, and the only known one to have a black blade, and for that matter a thin one, which even had shape of an actual metal sword. Its hilt was rectangular and was equipped with a serrated emitter. It most notably saw usage during the Clone Wars at the time of Pre Vizsla's attempts to reclaim Mandalore, and also during the Galactic Civil War when Sabine Wren used it. At number 3 is Senya Tyrell's retractable blue-bladed lightsaber pike, which is based off of the preferred weapon of the Knights of Zakul, of which she was a part of. Although, her lightsaber pike was different from the rest because it was not just a regular pike, because it could change its hilt size at any time. The long handle of the weapon was made of a prick alloy, which allowed it to resist lightsabers, and at the end of the handle was a lightsaber blade that was shorter and thicker than a normal one. Senya also owned another lightsaber, which was a standard one, which also had the retractable handle, which I think is worth mentioning. It most notably saw usage when the Eternal Empire was at war against both the Sith Empire and the old Galactic Republic. At number 4 are the unstable crossguard lightsabers, or in other words known as the unstable vented lightsabers. There are quite a few types of the crossguards, but we chose the normal crossguard with an unstable blade because it has a very special look to it. The crossguards are based off an ancient design dating back to the Great Scourge of Malachor. The unstable ones had a single, cracked kyber crystal, which powered the blade and was barely able to contain the weapon's power. The extra heat produced by the crystal was diverted to either side of the hilt and gave the weapons their unstable, fiery appearances. They were very handy when locked with another lightsaber in battle. At number 5, we have the Defiant vented dual sabers, which were basically double-bladed lightsabers with a crossguard on one side. The two main blades were normal, while to the smaller ones on the sides were unstable. Just as the regular crossguards were handy when locked with another lightsaber, so were these. Their origins are probably the same as with the other crossguards, and also, these ones were one of the rarest types ever seen. At number 6 are the unstable Peacemaker's lightsabers, which are almost the same as the regular single-bladed lightsabers, but they have another short blade on the other side of the hilt. They are also unstable and function in the same way as crossguards, but only require one vent, as we can see. At number 7, we have the unstable Peacemaker's Dual Sabers, which are unstable, double-bladed lightsabers that have a visible lightsaber blade surging at the open middle part of the hilt. This saber is very similar to the War Dragon Rider's lightsaber, which had 2 hilts and 3 separate blades. At number 8 are the Tythean lightsabers, which are basically lightsabers that when turned on, prolong their handle, similarly to Senya Tyrell's lightsaber, although in a circular fashion. When the Tythean saber is turned on, a small explosion erupts when the blade is powered up, and also the part of the hilt where the blade is coming from burns as if it's on fire. At number 9, we have the Tythean lightsaber pikes, which are very similar to Senya Tyrell's pike in almost every way. The differences it has compared to it are that when the saber is activated, the hilt prolongs in a circular fashion, as the standard Tythean lightsabers do. Fire burns at the point where the plasma blade meets the handle, and also an explosion erupts every time it's turned on. We are done with the Old Republic lightsabers, so now we are moving thousands of years ahead to the Clone Wars era. So at number 10 are Pong Krell's double-bladed lightsabers with collapsible hilts, even though some Jedi Temple Guardians had them as well. But Krell's ones are unique due to their massive size and low-pitching buzzing sound they made when in use. This suggests that they might qualify for a category of a light club, which was a much larger version of a standard lightsaber. The lightsabers could be activated whilst in folded position, as seen when General Krell countered Five's insubordination with the blade. The lightsaber blades were much longer and thicker than the usual ones because of Krell's basilisk size and 4 arms. They were most notably in use during the Clone Wars, especially at the Battle for Umbara. Now we are making the jump to the Galactic Civil War era. At number 11, we have the Inquisitors, aka Jedi Hunter's weapon of choice, which are the red double-bladed spinning lightsabers. They were capable of both single and double blades, as the usual standard double-bladed lightsabers. The weapon featured a ringed emitter that could partially detach from the cylindrical hand grip in the center, allowing the 2 blades to rotate rapidly without effort from the wielder, like this. For Jedi Hunters such as the Inquisitors, this function served as a way to intimidate opponents, as well as to deflect any frontal form of attack. However, this was also the weapon's primary weakness, as a lightsaber-wielding opponent could easily destroy the emitter itself and cut the weapon in half, which was demonstrated by Kanan Jarrus during his final duel with the Grand Inquisitor. These lightsabers could also be used as throwing discs, thanks to their rotation functions. They also had different modifications to them, which varied from Inquisitor to Inquisitor. All of them could be used to break the fall of the wielder by rotating rapidly, although some were used as helicopter blades, which was a bit too much for us, but hey, there's always the possibility of them using the Force to push themselves up. At number 12 is Ezra Bridger's Blaster Hybrid Lightsaber. This was Ezra's first lightsaber, which was built out of spare parts which were donated by the Ghost Crew, and it utilized the Kyber crystal that he received in the Jedi Temple on Lothal. The lightsaber blaster mode was set to stun and was built as a result of Ezra's lack of skill in deflecting blaster fire with his blade at that time. Kanan Jarrus would borrow this saber in his fight against the Grand Inquisitor. While using the hybrid lightsaber, Kanan would attack the Inquisitor by changing the lightsaber mode every few seconds and firing a few blaster shots at him as soon as he got an opening from the lightsaber duel. The lightsaber cannot fire blaster shots while it's ignited, which makes it kinda similar to Warb Null's long-handled lightsaber. At number 13 are Maris Brood's Guard Shoto, which are also referred to as the Lightsaber Tonfa. It was a rare, pendricular type of a short lightsaber with a second handle extending from the main hilt at 90 degrees. The Guard Shoto design allowed for a wide variety of blocking, trapping, jabbing and slashing techniques, making it a versatile and extremely dangerous weapon in the hands of someone trained to wield it properly. Conversely, it could be very hazardous to the unskilled to use it because the Guard Shoto was primarily designed to block other lightsabers, and it was most useful when its handle was laced with prick, a lightsaber-resistant metallic compound. However, this was an expensive process. A lightsaber made in this design could have been held with the blade pointing out for attacking, or with the blade pointed back along the wielder's own arm to provide greater defense and cover and allow the wielder to move in very closely to their opponent. However, the pendricular grip made it difficult to deliver powerful attacks, resulting in the loss of offense compared to a normal Shoto. Maris Brood, a Jedi Padawan, took to use a pair of guard shadow when she crossed paths with Starkiller, Vader's secret apprentice. The following lightsabers are based after the events of the Return of the Jedi. At number 14 is probably the most bizarre concept of a lightsaber, which is Irek Ismarin's Lightsaber Suit. Irek was the son of Raganda, who was one of the Emperor's hands, who after Emperor Palpatine's death wanted to put her son onto the Imperial throne. When Irek grew up into a man, his mother arranged for him to go through intensive cybernetic enhancements which made him look like a giant, as well as encasing him in a suit that had 8 lightsaber blades implanted into it. The suit had 3 blades which stuck out from each of his arms and 2 which stuck out from his knees. The lightsaber suit also had a fail-safe system in which the lightsaber blades would automatically turn off if they came in contact with the wearer. The main fighting style used with this suit is to charge at opponents and slash wildly at them with the 8 lightsaber blades. It was a very intimidating weapon and was designed to catch even the most skilled duelists off guard. And now finally at number 15 we have Lamaya's Light Whip. Light whips generally function with the same mechanics as lightsabers, which was emitting a coherent beam of energy that was used as a weapon. However, rather than the straight meter-long blade emitted by standard lightsabers, light whips featured flexible blades that often exceeded several meters in length. Instead of having one large kyber crystal, they contained multiple small ones, and the plasma in the blade had no cell barriers to keep it straight. Light whips as a whole were very rarely ever seen, and even they have a unique type in their midst, which was Lamaya's Light Whip with multiple tassels. Her light whip had a tubular hilt, which was forged from nearly indestructible Mandalorian iron. It is quite unique because of its 3 separate extension types, along with several filaments of yellow plasma. It was insanely difficult to defend from her attacks, as demonstrated when she defeated Luke Skywalker. The weapon also had its flaws because each time she would attack, she would be exposed to a counterattack and would quickly have to pull back the whip in order to defend herself. The light whip was basically a useless weapon in close quarter combat. Now, to briefly keep track of her personal headcanon view on Star Wars, we don't consider the last 2 lightsabers in this list as canon for ourselves because they're based in the stories after Episode 6, which we believe should be the happy ending of the Star Wars story because it simply feels right to us, and also, everybody is allowed to have an opinion, and this is ours which we always like to share. Keep in mind that this doesn't mean that we don't like the post-Episode 6 Expanded Universe stories to some point. Before we finish this off, I want to point out that the blue lightsaber on the thumbnail is not in the video due to the fact that it's art made by fans, although I gotta say that it looks pretty awesome and would fit really well into the Old Republic era, and we personally consider it as canon for ourselves. Anyway guys, this is it on the video, and we hope you all enjoyed it and learned something new about the vast galaxy of Star Wars. If you want to watch more videos like this one, the link to the playlist of our other Star Wars stories and videos will be down below. And also, if you want to support this channel, hit that subscribe button for even more videos like this one. And remember guys, God is awesome, may the Force be with you always, and we'll see you in another video. You rebel scum.
This party's over.